So look, we got some questions and things for y'all. Y'all ready? Because we heard that y'all want to know a few things, so we're going to have a little spark session. We're going to light it up. That's why I said if you was coming in here to get relief from the heat, you are in the wrong place, okay? Shannon, you want to start us off?
All right.
Make sure y'all listening now. We ain't going to repeat this, man.
Right.
All right.
Okay, so what makes you proud to be a part of a series like P-Valley?
Everything. Everything makes me proud about it. I love the culture. I love y'all, the fans, because, honey, y'all be fanning for us. I love that. I love my castmates. I love that it's so authentically black and beautiful. It's showing everything about being black.
I love that. Yeah. Well, Shannon, you know, what makes me proud? Is that what you said?
Yeah.
What makes me... You know what? What really makes me proud about being a part of P-Valley is that it gets to... I feel like I'm a part of a project that dispels the myth that black people don't like gay people.
Oh, that's true. That's true.
I think that that's something that is out there in the world that black people or Southern families kind of like kick their children to the side. And while that may be true in a lot of cases, for real, you know, whether their daughter became a dancer, went into sex work, or their child or uncle or aunt were part of the LGBTQ plus community, I'm grateful to be in a place where the world is so authentic and so black, but it also is so inclusive of all of the parts of our culture.
Love that.
Yeah. What makes me proud to be a part of this show? I love the fans. Y'all are incredible. Really, really amazing. And I think you guys are the reason that we have a season 3.
Oh, yes.
And that it blew up the way it did. It was because of you guys. Our show is like no other show on television. We have broken ground. And that you have never seen sex workers, you have never seen strippers in a way that's so human, so three-dimensional and multifaceted. You get to take a peek into their minds and what makes them go for it, why they're staying in the club and why they're caught up. We are unapologetically black. We are unapologetically queer. And yeah, this is a groundbreaking show, and we are a part of history, and that's what makes me so proud to be a part of a show like this.
How did you all prepare for these unique roles that, quote unquote, go there and dive into the topics that have been labeled taboo? How do you all prepare for these unique roles that, quote, go there and dive into the topics that have been labeled taboo?
You know what? The first thing I just thought about, y'all, let's just keep it real. Before P-Valley, I didn't like my legs. And I was just so uncomfortable with my body, like stretch marks and cellulite. When I tell you P-Valley made me be like, baby, y'all gonna get all these curves and all this stuff. It just made me comfortable going there. So how I prepared was my acting teacher at the time, Richard Lawson, made me wear shorts to acting class. And then my mentor, Robbie Reed, who works with BET, made me go to like the spa. And y'all know how you go to the spa, and she was like, no, I need you to go there and really get naked. Because how are you going to be able to portray this authentically on camera if you're not comfortable in your own body? And I feel like doing P-Valley just made me so comfortable. Now to go there with the emotions, I think we become friends. That's what it is.
Yeah,
like
family for real.
We really just become friends. So Nico and I talk outside of P-Valley. Shannon and I talk outside of P-Valley. So when you see these characters, you actually see real friends. You see, we know about each other's families. We know what's going on in our hearts and loves, our good and our bad, outside of just being on TV. Yeah. So that's why you see the truth on screen, and the chemistry is real.
Yeah. Yes, I give you that.
How did I prepare? So physically, I taught myself how to do splits. I was watching this little girl on YouTube. This little white girl on YouTube.
That's the girl.
I know her. Oh my
And I was like, ooh, I think I can do that. Because I really wanted to, because my character is so flexible and she's known for just being very balletic and flowy and beautiful, I wanted to be able to do at least some of what she could do. So I watched Little White Girl on YouTube. Every single day for a couple hours, I would just get into a split until I was like all the way down. So now I could do 3 different splits on a pole. I don't know what I'm gonna use that for in real life.
The lies.
The
lies.
I know, Shannon. I know.
You can go back there. That doesn't sound right. But anyway, moving on. So emotionally, like how we prepare for it emotionally. The one thing I really cared about before being on this show was what people thought of me, like people who know me and grew up with me and how they would feel seeing me this way. And I was willing to take a risk because the writing was so good. But I had never done nudity before. This is so new to me. And the one person whose opinion mattered to me the most is my mom. And she was like, you better go up. If you're gonna be a stripper, you better not hold back and you better be the best stripper in the world, Shannon. So that was the only opinion that really mattered to me. And once I got her approval, everything else was just, butter.
All right. Katori Hall has labeled the show edutainment. What does that mean to you all, and how do you think P-Valley exemplifies that?
Okay. I think that, there's medicine in the Kool-Aid. I think that, like, when we listen to, like, our people talk, in life, like our aunties and uncles and, stuff, you get that harsh hand, but you also get a little bit of love in there. And I think that with the show, the edutainment part of it is just laced in there like that,
There's this saying, and I'm gonna mess it up, where you hit somebody with the truth while they're like you make someone laugh, and while they're laughing you throw in like the medicine or whatever it is that they need, right? Like while their mouth is open and while they're laughing. We are entertaining you in moments of levity and very tragic moments. Yes, it's an entertaining experience, but you're still learning about the lives of people that you may not have understood prior to this, that you may have judged before. So in that way, yes, it is edutainment.
The first thing I just thought about was the way that you truly see the South. Sometimes if you don't live in a specific area, you think it doesn't happen, or, oh, they don't talk like that. When the show first hit, I remember people saying they don't talk like that. And my brothers are here who are from Memphis, Tennessee with me. And I did the screening in Memphis, Tennessee on purpose because I was like, people in LA aren't gonna understand at first. What does Maine mean? What is all that? Back home, we was like, oh, Maine, is that South Parkway? Is that non-Connor? Like, we knew all of that, and that is edutainment. So people are learning about not only the areas, they're learning about some of the stigmas in the church, just different things that maybe not be happening in your life. You're learning about the love. If you're not familiar with LGBTQ plus community, the love, and I feel like I heard so many people come and just say, wow, I want a picnic in a car and somebody to, I remember that scene. I was like, I want somebody to do that for me outside. Like you see the love. Yeah. You see the love. So you're educated. And I think you're also educated about the women at that club because you have a stigma about strippers, sex workers, that they are just doing whatever, but you see what's going on behind the scenes. They are mothers, they are career women, they are so much more, just like all black women are. We are so much more than one thing. And I believe that P-Valley shows that, and it makes you educated on what you may not be used to seeing.
That's what's up.
Next. Yes.
Yeah, you are. Yeah, thank you.
Okay. The show is known for tackling some serious subject matter, from COVID to abortion rights and mental health. is there a particular issue you feel strongly about being represented on screen?
Yep. Roe versus Wade, episode 7. Okay, I'm getting chills, getting pissed off about it right now. I love that episode because we had no idea that while we were filming that Roe versus Wade was going to be overturned. And the amount of women and young girls that have been in my DM since that, just thanking me. Some of them I coached back in Memphis, Tennessee, and I had no idea of some of the things that they had gone through. So I believe that is really touching to me. I'm so glad that Katori Hall put that story in there so you can see what happens to women, specifically black women. And as a black woman that had a stillbirth at 36 weeks and no one took my concerns seriously, so my lyric passed away. And so to be able to have that moment with Azaria Carter, who plays Terica, and trying to communicate and educate her. That whole line, it might have been funny to you, can't nobody get no cancer from no abortion, but those are the different stigmas and things that are told in the community. So that is very dear to my heart, for sure.
That was powerful. And it actually aired on...
Yes.
It aired.
Was it the day of or the day after Roe versus Wade was overturned? It was insane. Yeah. And they ended up closing down the Pink House in Jackson. So It was crazy that we were imitating art and had no idea.
Yeah. Shannon, when you asked that question, it's so many different topics that I think about that come to mind. I think about like domestic abuse. I think about the space. I'm thinking about that line that J. Alphonse Nicholson, who plays Lil Murder, says when Uncle Clifford says, "Who are you?" And he says, "What the world won't let me be." I think about the space that, as much as the show is just about I love that you think that you could look at this one character and be like, oh, they're a quote unquote side character. And then you turn around and then Katori flips it and it's like, no, you're in their world. And it's just, for me, I'm going to say is the topic because every single one of you, us, matters. You know what I mean? And I think that to be in a space where you can defy those traditional constructs of this is a lead of the show or this is a da-da-da-da-da of the show. And like, we don't really operate like that. You know what I'm saying? You call it what you want to, but it's art.
There's a few topics that we tackle on our show that are so important. There's one that I think about where Uncle Clifford asked Lil Murder, "Where are you gonna take me?" Because he's like, I want to take you out sometime. I can't even do him, but he was like, he's like, "Where will you take me?" And to be a black gay man in the South, to be out, to be presenting yourself as straight in the world of hip hop, where it's very much machismo and misogynistic, and it's dangerous. It's dangerous to be an out gay black man in the South. To the point where one of our characters, Big Teak, he commits suicide. Very, very important episode, season 2. Mental health, and we're talking about abortion and domestic violence with my character. Also very tricky being in an interracial relationship in Mississippi with a white man who is also racist.
That was a lot. We got to wrap it up. Thank y'all so much.
Thank you, thank you, thank you.
This has been so much fun. We love y'all. Thank you for the support and love.
Yes. Thank you.